All right, welcome everybody here to Warrior Esports Vanguard, the podcast. Joel, episode 3.
Yep.
We had a guest on today. Mr. Clarenbach joined us. We talked about Lego and pretty impressive collection he's got up there in his room, and talked about how he does not like the Jean-Claude Van Damme version of Street Fighter. So we will get to that interview in a little bit. But it's been an interesting week. Talking a lot about NBA trades today,
Yeah.
and that's kind
That
of
all
recent.
happened today.
Yeah,
So it's not
yeah.
been an interesting week. It's been an interesting day.
For sure. So yeah, I mean, trade deadline is on Thursday, so Joel is closely watching his notifications.
Yep.
Kind of wondering if we'll see Giannis traded today before we even leave this podcast. So, anywho, welcome listeners. Number 3. Shout out to our sponsors: Ian's Pressure Washing, Oddball Arts, Go Dutch Solutions, All Phase Heating and Cooling, and Gutter Tech. But yeah, interesting day for the trades. But I feel like I told Joel before the show started, I think this year might be the year that we have a lot of things go down before Thursday. So, you know, I guess we'll find out. Hopefully, Milwaukee. I feel like they got to move Giannis. We'll talk a little bit more about that later, but I think it's just time. Honestly, he doesn't seem like he wants to be there. I mean, it could be all just rumor and innuendo, but I think that the writing is on the wall. He's on the wrong side of 30, and which is kind of weird for me to say because I am almost 40, and but that is just kind of how sports are, whether that's basketball, football, baseball. Pretty much once you get 30, you're downhill. So, but I mean, the honest to me, when he's healthy, or at least when he wants to appear to be healthy, he's still one of the most elite basketball players in the NBA. So, I'm sure there are teams lined up waiting to throw an offer Milwaukee's way. So we'll sit back, we'll relax, and wait on Shams Sharani to tell us the news. So, but as we do that, Joel, let's get to our interview with Mr. Clarenbach. He has a extensive collection of Lego. All right, and we are here today with a special guest, Mr. Clarenbach. What do you teach here at Waupun Junior Senior High?
Well, first off, thank you for having me on. It was an unexpected surprise, so thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I've been with Waupun for the past 19 years. My title is, I believe, at-risk teacher. However, we offer a variety of online classes for students.
Sure.
But the bulk of my work really comes working with kids who are credit deficient, trying to get them to graduate on time.
Sure. Well, that's amazing. You're doing great work, and it is very important that you graduate. All right, working through some technical difficulties here. We do have an interview.
Won't be Waupun Esports without some technical difficulty.
For sure. Okay. So all right, and we are here today with a special guest, Mr. Clarenbach. What do you teach here at Waupun Junior Senior High?
Well, first off, thank you for
All right, and we are here today with a special guest, Mr. Clarenbach. What do you teach here at Waupun Junior Senior High?
Well, first off, thank you for having me on. It was an unexpected surprise, so thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I've been with Waupun for the past 19 years. My title is, I I believe, at-risk teacher. However, we offer a variety of online classes for students.
Sure.
But the bulk of my work really comes.
All right, and we are here today with a special guest, Mr. Clarenbach. What do you teach here at Waupun Junior Senior High?
Well, first off, thank you for having me on. It was an unexpected surprise, so thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I've been with Waupun for the past 19 years. My title is, I believe, at-risk teacher. However, we offer a variety of online classes for students.
Sure.
But the bulk of my work really comes working with kids who are credit deficient, trying to get them to graduate on time.
Sure. Well, that's amazing. You're doing great work, and it is very important that you graduate, kids. So finish your schooling.
Thank you.
So we will carry on with the show here. Apologies to Mr. Clarenbach, but we will toy over around with some things here, and hopefully next week we'll just carry on, and we'll just hopefully have you your interview segment next week. But yeah, apologies, and we're learning here as we go. Yeah, it's kind of frustrating, Joel. But
Yeah, it is. It was a good interview,
yes, it was. So, but I guess we'll just have to.
But we got a jam-packed episode today with a lot of triggers.
We got to keep moving on here. But apologies again to Mr. Clarenbach. What we watched this week or last week, rather, should you watch it, stream it, skip it, whatever? I watched the WWE Royal Rumble. I streamed it, more so like skimmed through it. But Roman Reigns won the Rumble. They were in Saudi Arabia, so like stuff was like at 2:00, where usually it's like at night. So you're kind of able to like go through and just kind of skim right through. But yeah, Mr. Price is going to be on here in a couple weeks. I'm excited to talk to him about the results. Haven't had a chance to today yet, so we'll talk about that probably in a couple weeks. He is a professional wrestler, Joel. I don't know if you knew that, but yeah, he does that on his free time. So interested to watch that.
Yep. And for me, what am I talking about?
Pistons.
Oh,
TV.
Yeah. So on Netflix, I've kind of gone through some of the NBA documentaries. I'm like, which ones should be interesting? So this weekend, I think it was yesterday, no, day before, so the weekend, I guess, I watched Bad Boys, which is a Pistons documentary, not the actual movie, The Bad Boys. Great documentary. Talks about the Bad Boy era Pistons with Bill Laimbeer and Isaiah Thomas and just a bunch of meanies. Really good documentary. And yesterday, I think I watched an even better one, I'm not going to lie, about the Malice at the Palace, which the Palace is no longer the Pistons. It's no longer their court. It was torn down in 2020. But it was known as the Palace at Auburn Hills, and there is a big fight between the players and the fans, which will never happen again. Kind of a controversial opinion on what side was right, what side was wrong. I have my own opinion. I will hold that because you can watch a documentary yourself on Netflix.
Yeah, it sounds like you were all about the Pistons. But Joel, speaking of the Bad Boys documentary, so there's, quite the debate with your generation and my generation. Who's the GOAT? So who's the GOAT?
I say Michael Jordan.
Thank you. All right. At least we got one. All right. So yeah, when you watch a documentary like that, you can see, Jordan was playing with every obstacle in his way. You got the Bad Boy Pistons.
Well, he started his career against Larry Bird-led Celtics and Hall of Famers.
Yeah, like the Celtics, the Pistons, the Knicks at one point, were just as tough. Orlando, shout out to Kyle, he's a big Orlando Magic fan, but even Orlando, in that time period, the mid-90s, when you had Shaq and Penny Hardaway, man, those two gave Jordan and company problems. But if you watch The Last Dance, I think it was Brian Anderson who gave Jordan a hard time about How he wasn't. 45 was in 23, and so he went in the
Oh,
halftime.
yeah.
He went in the halftime at 45. Came out with his 23 jersey on, and as they say, the rest is history. So,
Yeah, I love that documentary. I watched Last Dance when I was in Texas last year,
mhm,
and it was such a good documentary.
yeah, I can't believe that Jerry Krause blew that up for like no reason. Like,
Yeah.
dude, like made the biggest mistake ever and set the franchise back a long time. Um, so moving along here, we got we've asked our guests, like a top five Spotify kind of list or whatever. Like if you were to give me like your list of what describes you or artist who describes you, like to make a playlist, who are they? So my top five are Linkin Park at five. All right, yeah, Linkin Park at five. Um, Tupac at four. DMX at three. The Backstreet Boys number two.
Oh,
Don't
that's
don't
a sweet.
don't at me. And then Metallica number one. I'm a huge Metallica fan. If you haven't picked up yet with the podcast talking about the vinyls and stuff, but yeah, that is my top five. Joel, what's yours?
So I unfortunately, when I saw this prompt come up today, I saw it whenever I was not able to look at my phone because of school policy. So
Ah,
it's kind of eyeballing stuff. I wasn't able to scroll through my playlist or nothing to really get a narrow down. So this is all going to be like basically the same genre, but it's all
sure.
artists I like. So at five, I have Snoop Dogg,
Okay.
just classic hits. I have four, Juice World, Die Too Young. Three, I have Lil Tecca. That might be a little controversial because he's a younger artist, a younger rapper, but he's had some good hits.
Okay.
Um, at, I'm paying Tupac a little bit more respect and putting him at two. And number one is my number one artist, The Kid Leroy, obviously.
All right. I dig it. I'll have to give Little Tech a listen because I have honestly never heard of him.
Most famous for his song Ransom. I will not sing it due to copyright laws, but
All right. Sports, Joel, there's a lot to talk about here.
yeah, there
It's
is.
crazy the amount that has happened in a week since our last show. But I wanted to talk about first Bill Belichick snubbed. First ballot Hall of Fame. Everybody in the media, including fans, felt like he got the wrong end of it, and I couldn't agree more. And now Robert Kraft is again snubbed. Um, they should be in the Hall of Fame. Both of them, have done such, a phenomenal job, turning that franchise around. But I was kind of wondering myself because I saw this earlier that I think that they're, I mean, maybe they're not, but I feel like there's a potential setting up of like the Hall of Fame for 2028 because then Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski will both be eligible to be in the Hall of Fame. And I think it would be like such a money getter if like those two players plus Robert Kraft plus Bill Belichick all went in the same time. So I wouldn't be surprised if that was like the super patriot kind of Hall of Fame. Um, but you never know. Moving on to the NBA, the Clippers are looking to move. Well, James Harden is looking to move on too, I think. But could he be in Milwaukee?
Um, that'd be hard to say because he makes 40 million. The most likely match for that would be Kuzma. Let's be real. Let's just get him out of here, please. I don't know who else you'd be willing to give up for that though, because Kuzma's about half of that. So we'll have to really see. I wouldn't mind him in Milwaukee, but we'll have to see. And he did request a trade, so
Yeah. So I mean, you never know. I mean, there's like the four, the front runners for this on this trade that may or may not happen. I've heard a lot like Miami and Golden State, but there's been like whispers of like these mystery teams. Now that James wants to get out of LA, maybe I don't know, but
that'd be kind of dumb. I mean, it would be overlapping with Kawhi too. Which, by the way, if Giannis goes to Clippers, hey, first of all, how dare you? Second of all, getting past either of the forwards on that team is going to be near impossible because Kawhi's defense is redonkulous and Giannis's defensive when he's healthy is even more redonkulous. So that would be a wicked team. Plus Zubats as well on defense. So
Mhm.
they just got a wicked squad there for defense.
If that were to happen, like I would probably load up NBA 2K like immediately, just because
Yup.
I feel like that's like a super squad.
That would probably be the exact same feel as of like 2 days ago, a year ago, when Nico Harrison decided to make the dumbest decision in the NBA. Let's trade our superstar for this dude who always is hurt.
But I mean, like that trade, Luca for basically Anthony Davis.
It was bags of potato chips along
Like
with it.
like that was just terrible. But like, I mean, if it were fantasy wise, if it were like James Harden, for Giannis and Kuzma or somewhere else, off the roster for the Clippers, I mean that's not a terrible trade. I mean both of them are pretty still at the top of their game. And James has always been like a dog when it comes to like just he goes out there usually and plays pretty hard. I watched the documentary on Netflix. Is it like Point Guard or whatever?
That could be. I don't know.
Something like they had like a quarterback
I've seen
series for the
Shooting
NFL.
Guard.
Yeah, well, there was like some guard series for like because they did something with the NFL with the quarterback thing, and they did something for NBA too. So, but yeah, it was pretty cool seeing that kind of like behind the curtain kind of thing. So it'd be interesting to see if he'd do well in Milwaukee. Did you see Jason Kidd's response to a reporter about Cooper Flag playing the point guard spot?
Yes, it was pretty popular among the media. Now, for reasons we cannot play the clip because there might be some profanity.
Yeah, definitely check her out on your own time. But honestly, like that, as a '90s kid, that is Jason Kidd in a nutshell. Like he kind of was, kind of quiet when it came to the Luka trade, but I feel like ever since like the aftermath kind of thing, like he's kind of like come out of his shell a little bit and just kind of said how it is and not really been filtered as much. So and that's kind of who Jason Kidd is and was when he was as a player. So been kind of cool to see that. All right, moving on to Joel's stuff.
So you can have your rumors with James Harden and all that stuff, but what is not rumors, it's what is official. So, first of the 3 trades today, sometimes you'd save it for the main course at the end, but we're just hitting it head on. Jaren Jackson Jr. of the Memphis Grizzlies was involved in an 8-player trade with the Utah Jazz. 8 players in total, not the Jazz sending 7. Where did my voice go? Not the Jazz sending 7 players, but 4 from each. Shams Charania's exact message was, the Memphis Grizzlies are trading star forward Jaren Jackson Jr., John Conchar, Jock Landale, and Vince Williams Jr. to the Utah Jazz for Walter Clayton Jr., Kyle Anderson, Taylor Hendricks, Georges Niang, and 3 future first-round picks. So this is wicked because Jazz now have a wicked squad they kept Laurie. I'm very surprised what they kept. They kept Laurie Markkinen, Ace Bailey, and Walker Kessler, who are easily their front running people. Now adding former DPOI in Jaren Jackson Jr., this is gonna jumpstart the Jazz. But this also gives an opportunity for Memphis to really rebuild because these are all young players. They're not worth anything, right? Well, I mean, obviously they're worth something, but right now I don't think they've done a whole lot. Granted, it's just the Jazz, but this should be exciting. And we also should see what happens with Jazz or Ja.
Yeah, well, that's what I was just gonna say. Like, do you think now? I mean, is it? I mean, all but official. That do you think Ja's like on his way out? Because like, you trade all those players today. Like, what's the sense in keeping Ja? Like, especially when you trade all the good pieces away.
I mean, I feel like this was not on my bingo card for Jaren Jackson to get traded at all. But now seeing that the Grizzlies are willing to trade someone like someone like Jaren Jackson, I have a good feeling they might be just going into full rebuild. So they could trade Ja or they could build around Ja. Either way, they clear of Jaren Jackson's nearly $50 million contract. So they have that going for them. Granted, I don't know who is going to be on an expiring contract. Actually, Trey Young, which that doesn't help because they have Ja. But we'll have to see what the Memphis does. If they trade Ja, well, it's obvious they're going into full rebuild. But if
For
they
sure.
don't, I feel like they're going to try to build around him. Moving on here, we got another trade. Jaden Ivey of the Detroit Pistons was traded to the Bulls in a 3-team trade. And once again, Shams Charania's exact message: Chicago, Minnesota, and Detroit have agreed to a multi-team deal that sends Jaden Ivey and Mike Conley to the Bulls, and Kevin Huerter and Dario Saric, who, by the way, just got there from the Kings, to the Pistons. Detroit also receives a 2026 first-round protected pick swap from Minnesota. So Mike Conley being involved, that's just a salary dump for Minnesota. That's the big who cares. Dario Saric, you got to feel bad for him. He was he was on the Bulls for exactly like 3 days. Now he's already
Don't
moving
pack
on.
your bags, Dario.
The plane just landed.
Don't unpack your bags, rather. Yeah. I mean, Mike Conley, Joel, when he was in college, he gave Wisconsin fits over at Ohio State. So him and Greg Oden, I think they're on the same team. I know Ohio State at the time, like especially Mike Conley time, that squad was crazy. And so to see Conley still in the NBA, it's kind of cool. But yeah, you're definitely right. At this point, dumping salary to move pieces somewhere. So maybe they're moving pieces so that they can bring in someone big. I don't know. I mean, you're right. Maybe they're keeping Ja, building around him. Maybe bringing a big superstar to pair up with them. But I don't know.
Yeah, and then Ivy for Herter. Honestly, it's not the craziest trade in the world. I know Ivy was a bench player ever since he got hurt, and they've started moving on to Duncan Robinson. So them trading Ivy is not entirely shocking. Besides, I don't know how big Ivy's contract is. I remember it's bigger than you think. And Kevin Herter, that actually helps Pistons a little bit because Tobias Harris is okay. Kevin Herter is someone you can develop. So they
For
got
sure.
that going for them. And they have Dario Saric, which woohoo, I guess. And today, moving on to our third trade, as of 2:42 p.m. Central Time, yes, I'm making that specific. Nikola Vucevic, I completely butchered that, but Nikola V of the Chicago Bulls is heading to Boston. Shams Charania's exact message: the Chicago Bulls are trading center Nikola Vucevic. Wow, I cannot talk. The center. And a second-round pick to the Boston Celtics for Anthony Simons and a second-round pick. Once again, Anthony Simons literally just got there in the offseason. I was literally editing this page to make it exact so I have all the notes and whatnot on it. And I see Shams Charania has a new message like 3 minutes ago that said that. I was like, what? Okay. This helps Celtics immediately because let's be real here. Emius Queta as your starting center? No. Just no. And besides, I think they make similar money. Anthony Simons is getting paid like $25 million a year, I think.
Mhm.
So adding someone like Nikola would be good for them. I don't know how this exactly helps Chicago, saying they literally just got a shooting guard an hour earlier. So
Yeah.
we'll have to see.
All right. So that was the crazy week or so in sports. Moving along to gaming. What we're playing right now, free to play, is worth the buy. I'm still grinding away at Arc Raiders. Currently working on the trophy and expedition loot gathering to upgrade my account. Yeah, totally worth the buy. So if you are considering, I would say pursue it. Joel?
For me, it's been Rocket League as of recent because since we have a team for it again, I have a reason to practice
Yay!
it. So, just working on refining the skills just for the season. Because sorry you couldn't see the game last week, but
This week,
um,
we'll show it to you.
yeah, this week it's almost a guarantee
We got it
unless
figured out. Now
unless
just
our
gotta figure out
opponent's
the
a no
podcast.
show. Yeah, but I'm excited to be playing Rocket League again for Waupun Esports.
Yeah, definitely glad to get that back rolling and hopefully, all things considered, we'll have a stream for you on Thursday for some Rocket League action, week 2 preseason. Um, yeah, did you guys face a GC and then like some
Uh,
like high?
one of them was a guaranteed GC. One of them was either like I'm guessing like a wash champ, and then the other one I have no idea, probably plat, if I remember correctly. I don't remember. His really didn't say anything, but just
Yeah,
based off of what I saw, he wasn't doing much,
but honestly, Joel, like for those that didn't get to see it, I
which
thought it
is all of you.
everybody. I saw it, and I mean, obviously you want to win, but to have like this team assembled this year, this fall or spring, like I mean, I was pleased with the results. I think we kept it pretty close for the most part, considering who we're facing. Um, and we're trying to get that chemistry going. So, I mean, we'll see what happens this week. But we have this week to figure things out, and then even so, you have a few weeks into the regular season to kind of figure things out. So all things considered, I think we're heading in the right direction with Rocket League. So,
Yep.
2 minute takes.
All right, so sorry about the just shoving the NBA down your throats, but I'm gonna keep doing that. My honest opinion on the whole Giannis Antetokounmpo situation. Yes, I know how to say Antetokounmpo better than I do that.
Vucevic.
Vucevic, thank you. So, in my opinion, moving Giannis at this point might be our best decision. We've barely won without him, but he has a couple more years left of his quote unquote prime. So, I mean, if he wants to win another ring, get out of Milwaukee. We are a lost cause this season. Like AJ Green and especially Miles Turner, who I'll talk about in a minute. They are not winning you a championship within the next couple of years. And speaking of Miles, um, I saw the news and I was like, holy cow, we're going to have a really good season. Yeah, so imagine my surprise when we're 3-14 without Giannis. Not good. But at the same time, waiving a player like Damian Lillard, who made $50 million a year, by the way, and still technically does because we have to keep paying him, but that doesn't bother me because we don't know how he's going to perform when he comes out of his Achilles tear. And besides, he loves Portland. That's fine. Go back to Portland. But yeah, Miles has been a letdown. But I feel like as much as it hurts, moving Giannis is probably the best decision, and for us too, because you can probably bring in some young prospects along with them.
Well, having Giannis, like, I've been watching the NBA pretty much my entire life. Group of Bulls fan because of Jordan, but like, as a young fan, like you hope your team, like your team, does really well, and like Milwaukee, for the most part, have always been like a sub 500 team. Always fighting to like get that last spot in the playoffs. And like the Michael Redd, Brandon Jennings days, like that's kind of what it was. And then those players got moved on. We got Jabari Parker, and like that was a hope and dream, and just never really came to fruition. And then Giannis came around, and thankfully, we were able to win a championship with them. But I do think at this juncture in time, like you just kind of have to move on and hopefully get a good return on it. I just hope he doesn't, I just hope it doesn't turn into one of those Kareem Abdul-Jabbar situations where he leaves Milwaukee, goes somewhere else,
And completely
and
blacklists.
and just and goes wins the championship. And I mean, if he does, more power to him. Hopefully, that is the case for him because he does deserve to go and win. But Yeah, that would just be like our luck here for Milwaukee. So,
Yep.
um, getting towards the end of the show here. Thank you guys who have been listening. Game reviews and first impressions. I've been keeping my eye on Wolverine. It's supposed to come out in the fall of 2026. Looks amazing. Combat kind of reminds me of the Batman series. The graphics are, stunning and immersive, and I'm not the biggest fan of Wolverine, but I'm definitely Team Marvel. Joel, what about you? Marvel, DC?
Yeah, Marvel,
Thank
all the
you.
way. Iron Man is infinitesimally better than most of the DC. So you just got billionaire playboy as Batman. So
I
yeah,
mean, some people will say
I mean, I guess
Superman.
Iron Man is too, but
Yeah,
his
yeah,
powers are a little bit better than bettering.
yeah.
He's at least got a beam of plasma.
Uh, all right, and Joel, what do you got?
High Guard, continuing on from last week. Haven't it? Oh, I mean, I technically own it. I just haven't installed it yet. Leaning more towards starting to play it because I've heard better reviews after they added 5v5. So yeah, I might give her a shot.
All right, more playing. I've been on the Arc Raiders train, obviously, but like I said last week, I've got Star Wars Outlaws, so hopefully this weekend I'll get a little time to play.
Did you jump to here?
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, looking forward to getting a little more time into Outlaws. Looks like a great game. It just needs, you just need to be able to dedicate yourself. I think,
Yep.
just give yourself time to
Yep.
play it, and so hopefully that'll be my
You
case this
absolutely
weekend.
By the way, for Star Wars Outlaws, I made it my personal goal in that game to be the Pike Syndicate's #1 enemy, just because it's funny.
Okay.
I got so far to the point they have death squads after me all the time, so I like the Hutt Syndicate a lot. So, I mean, the last person you want to anger is Jabba the Hutt. That's my hypothesis. And for me, this week I'll probably be playing Apex, getting some ranked games in. I've already completed the past. By the way, trailer came out today. Fuse, if you know what I'm about to talk about, you know what I'm about to talk about. Fuse getting a little rework, like that a lot. Catalyst being able to flip her ultimate wall around so you can do it horizontally and not right line of sight in front of you. That's an amazing change. I've always liked Catalyst since she's released, but that's always been kind of a weird part of her kit. But that's an amazing change. And maybe this week, maybe I'll play Fortnite. I just really need to level up the battle pass, like kind of badly. So yeah.
So we're ending the show pretty soon here, but a couple of segments left. So retro, we rewind. Oh my goodness, I'll get it one of these weeks. Retro rewind. Pick an old game, talk about why it's still peak. Tecmo Bowl. That is an absolute legend of a game. So basic, but endless fun. It's really gotten my son into football more. Like he likes to play it. He's gotten more familiar with the teams that way. So yeah, it's a throwback, Joel, but definitely still a good one.
For me, it's Wii Sports. I just love how funny the game is in a way. Like especially with tennis, if you're playing single player, just both of your guys just simultaneously swinging the
Yep.
tennis racket. It's
Yep.
just so funny to me. And also just hitting the absolute home runs. They've also had some iconic lines in there. Home run, just some iconic lines. Love the game, and you get a workout in.
Yeah, I enjoy the baseball one and I enjoy bowling. Those are like the two Wii Sport
bowling.
ones.
Yep.
Like if I'm going to choose one of those two, it's one of those two. My son, um, it's like a more like updated version of like Wii Sports.
Oh, like the Nintendo Switch one.
Yeah, for Nintendo Switch. So we play that. He's played that occasionally. He likes the volleyball on there. So like I don't know.
I haven't played it,
decent.
so couldn't tell you.
Rank it. This week we're going top 5 sodas. Myself, number 5, Pepsi. I mean, I've always been kind of like a fan of it. Number 4, root beer. Best root beer, no question.
You mean A&W? You said root beer, and then you said best root beer.
A&W. You're right. Sorry, I got a lot of stuff going on in the lab here. A&W, yes. Best root beer. I mean, some people will say Barks.
It's okay.
I mean, I don't know. It does probably help that we have an A&W in Waupun. Number 3, Code Red, Mountain Dew. Just always loved it. It's probably not the best for you, especially with all the red dye and stuff. But moving on. Mountain Dew in a can. It's got to be in a can. I don't really like the bottle taste. It just, I don't know. This doesn't sit well with me. And number one, it's a throwback. No, unfortunately, it's no longer on the shelves.
Okay,
But
that would make sense why I've
Surge,
never heard of it.
yeah, Surge. It's so if you've ever like had the closest thing nowadays would be like Mellow Yellow, but
Oh,
it's
okay.
got more of a citrusy taste to
Oh,
it.
I should have had
But yeah, that's one. Like when I was in high school, it was like it like hit its peak, and then like just kind of like went away for a while. Like Coca Cola got rid of it. Um, and then there was a Facebook movement to get it back on shelves. And then like it was in um, mostly gas stations and stuff. Like they had to quit trip for a while, where it was like in 16-ounce cans. And so yeah, it had like a brief comeback, but it's still again MIA. So if for some reason Coca Cola is listening to this, please bring it back. It's a great soda.
And for me, I am not a believer in giving a specific position, so I'm just going to name a bunch of sodas
Sure.
that are in my top 5, not anywhere specific. He just brought up Mellow Yellow, and I was like, I really need to add it to my list because I like Mellow Yellow. So yeah, that's on my list for sure. Next on my list, I got Dr. Pepper / Mr. Pibb. They're like basically the same thing. I couldn't make a pick between the two personally, so there you go. I just decided to add them both. Mountain Dew, if we're getting specific, flavor, voltage, 1000% of the way. Love voltage so much. Just great flavor. Once again, probably not good for you, but in fairness, no soda is. So, um, next on my list, I have cream soda, specifically from A&W. Theirs is really good. I haven't had it in a while. It's also caffeine free, so that's why I also like it. And then finally, kind of contradicting Bennett's Pepsi choice here, but I got Coca-Cola. I just like Coca-Cola more.
I mean,
And yet, I'm still very controversial about Culver's switching from Pepsi to
yeah,
Coke.
yeah.
But
I mean, I'll take either one, like Coca Cola or Pepsi. But like, if I'm at a restaurant, like they're like Pepsi or Coke, like products, like it doesn't matter. Like I'll drink either one, but like for me, I prefer Pepsi. Like grew up, drinking Coca Cola, so like it's not a big deal to drink it. Um, but if I do like go to McDonald's for some reason, usually the kids, gotta have Coca Cola. I don't know what they do to it, but they've made it taste so much better. So yeah, that's that's where I prefer Coca Cola probably the most. Um, all right, so um, shout out to our sponsors: Ian's Pressure Washing, Audible Arts, Go Dutch Solutions, All Phase, Heating and Cooling, and then Gutter Tech. Um, we have week 2 of the preseason, Joel.
yep.
We will have Street Fighter here in about 15 minutes off stream. Um, I think they just prefer to be off stream just because that team's getting used to the game, and we said
Let
it
'em rock
before.
out.
Like the games, kind of they can be really quick or they can actually go the distance. But they're learning they're learning their game there, so we're just not going to have the pressure of putting it on stream. Tomorrow we're going to have Super Smash Brothers week 2. They got a lot to learn from last week. It was an eye opener. And unfortunately, their league there for the Central League is pretty large. Like last I looked, it was like 400 plus. So the competition is pretty thick. And then we've got you guys on Thursday for Rocket League. Looking
Yep.
forward to week 2, and hopefully,
Yellow Wall.
hopefully we'll have a stream. Yeah, Yellow Wall, and for sure, and get that going in the chat. Other than that, club events. It's not a while yet, but March 9th, we are going to be back at Culver's for their share night. So we'll have more probably during the streams and stuff going up for that. But we'll be running customer orders, busting tables. But we look forward to seeing you guys there. So if you do end up making it out to the Waupun Culver's, make sure you give us a shout. Let us know you're on the podcast. But yeah, we're gonna close the show here. Next week we'll have Miss Knutson.
Mr. Clarenbach with his recording.
Yeah, well, you know what? Maybe we'll do a twofer. We'll see if we can get this figured out, and maybe we'll just do a twofer.
Maybe we can just shorten our section. And
Yeah,
besides, these guys are guests.
Yeah.
These guys are getting the highlights here.
A
So
little less Joel and I talking, which let's be real here. Maybe that's maybe.
if Giannis gets traded, I'm talking.
Yep. Yeah. But yeah, maybe we'll just do a twofer then next week. We'll have Kyle help us figure things out because apparently when he's not here, all things are
Not good.
Not good. So yeah. So shout out to Kyle being the phenomenal producer of the streams that he is. A little last quick plug here on our social media, Twitch, which you may or may not be listening to this depending on when you hear it. Is that Wapan HS _ Esports. YouTube, we are at Warrior Gaming WJSHS. Facebook, you can find us at Wapan HS Esports. X or Twitter, Joel.
It's Twitter.
It's at Wapan HS _ Esport because apparently you can't have the last S on there. TikTok, we have a TikTok, yes. Wapan HS period Esports. And yeah, that is us. This is Warrior Esports Vanguard, the podcast. Thank you for checking this out. We'll return next week with episode 4, which, if you're a Star Wars fan, that's probably the best one. That could be debated maybe next week. But yeah, GG's to Warrior Nation. We'll see you next week. Take care, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow with some Super Smash.